Deputy Commissioner, we saw very recently a very unfortunate episode unfold in the city of Maiduguri, where there was this kind of what appeared to be a protest of police officers taking place on the streets there. And we've seen in the kind of the following days, the Inspector General of Police visit the Vice President's office concerning that. I just wanted to know whether you are in a position to shed more light on what happened in Borno State that day.
The incident in Borno State have been dealt with appropriately, and we want people to see that I promptly came up on there, and this police personnel went on inquiry, of which people took me up on some social media on that issue, and we have equally responded. And you see the format of which they came out to the command headquarters was the kind of format of which police mobile force have been trained. That's the style of the training when they go to camp. I was there in Maiduguri myself. I was there at Gosa camp, and this is the format when people are being trained, are being processed for training, and they engage in obstacle crossing and a lot of other activities. And the force was prompt to let them know reason, because the Inspector General of Police quickly dispatched the Commissioner of Police in charge of Police Mobile Force and the Commissioner of Police in Maiduguri to educate them and inform them of why the payment of the allowances is being delayed. Mind you, these are not the personnel that are involved in the Operation Lafia Dole. We have thousands of police mobile force personnel that are involved in this operation. And the payment of allowances for them too has not been paid. And it is important for everybody who have a concern, who come to make inquiry, to be attended to. And that is why they were attended to. The entire episode ended as they entered into the command headquarters, and they were educated about the reason why the allowances have not been paid. Budgets have just been passed, and if anybody that will accuse us should look towards whosoever is responsible for holding the budget for more than 8 months, because there's no how you can spend money outside budgetary allocation.
Now, Mr. Moshood, let's quickly move on now to Ekiti. 30,000 police officers, that's the amount of people, personnel, we understand you're deploying to secure the elections in Ekiti. And some people might say that that is definitely a huge number. Where, first of all, are you getting all of those people from? And what is the threat in Ekiti that we need 30,000 people on the ground?
Thank you so much. I want to say that it's not only peculiar to Ekiti. In Edo, we deployed 25,000 police personnel. In Ondo, we deployed 26,000. In Anambra, the same 26,000. And we have carried out a threat analysis and assessment of throughout Ekiti State. And so much have confidence in our personnel to be able to deliver appropriately and to create an enabling, secure environment for people to come out and go and vote. But if you watch in the recent time, the utterances of the stakeholders who call themselves leaders in Ekiti and other area have been inciting and instigative. And we want people to have the confidence that the police is capable of securing them, is capable of providing security for the election, and for them to be free to come out. Because by the time you start sending inciting statements, start issuing a threat on people themselves, then definitely it may weigh down the tendency of people wanting to come out and exercise their franchise. So we want the will of people to be to carry the day, and that is why this deployment is being done. Not only the 30,000 deployed to Ekiti State, even the Commissioner of Police in the contiguous state to Ekiti State, such as Kogi, Kwara, Osun, Ondo, have been put on red alert, and they have been directed by the IGP to deploy massively to ensure that there's no influx of miscreants and thugs into Ekiti State. Equally, Oyo, that's not too far, and Ogun, that's not too far, are equally under this strict instruction of the Inspector General of Police to ensure that we ensure that this election is peaceful and is credible. I want to say that as we winding into the 2019 general election, tension are in the air, and we want to call on politicians and critical stakeholders that have to do with election to ensure that they play the game according to the rule. The Nigerian police force will not hesitate to visit the heavyweight of the law on any individuals that try to truncate the system or violate the Electoral Act. So that is why you see the deployment. It's not.
So we see 30,000.
30,000. If you break down the 30,000,
and this is an addition. I think it was just yesterday we got reports that the Inspector General of Police has ordered that all police formations be on red alert. as a result of the killings that happened here in Abuja of policemen. Is that right?
Yes, that's very correct.
How is that going to happen in addition to monitoring of, policing elections in Ekiti State?
No, that wouldn't have any negative on policing election in Ekiti State, because you have over 2,000 polling units or voting points, 2,451 if I'm precise. You have 177 wards, which are equally involved in RAC centers. You have the 60 super RACs, then you have 16 local government area to cover. So within this area, most times in the past, our preparation is in three phases: the pre-election period, the election proper, and the post-election period. And Ekiti State, if everybody that know Ekiti State, is a flashpoint when it comes to politicking. And you can remember what happened in the Second Republic. We don't have a repeat of that, because even when the election is credible, free and fair, and an election result is being announced, you see people that want to disrupt the peace of the other Nigerians, and that will not allow to happen. This is not to say we are over-deploying. There's no any over-deployment in 30,000 police personnel. It's an adequate figure to ensure that everybody that has one business or the other that is authorized, accredited, can play their role during the elections.
How do you assess the level of consultation between your force, the Nigerian police force, and the Nigerian military, for example, in terms of coordination ahead of the election? How has that gone, and do you get the sense that you're on the same page?
Thank you so much. We are definitely on the same page, not only with the military, with the other security and safety agencies that have to do with the election. Before now, we have what we call the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security in every state. And the Commissioner of Police of such a state is the chairman, and the ANECREC is co-chairman. We've been working out, based on the threat analysis, where the military are to cover, where the mobile police force are to cover, where the counter-terrorist unit are to cover, where the other security and safety agency complementing the effort of the police in the election are to cover. For every polling unit, we are going to have 4 police personnel and 2 of the other security and safety agencies that will be assisting them. And I want to make it abundantly clear for people to know that the allowances for this personnel to be deployed has been approved by government and is being dispersed. And definitely everybody that is partaking in this election will get the allowances before the election.
For anybody who's followed the kinds of political rhetoric that we've seen coming out of Ekiti State, they would acknowledge that there's been talk about fire coming onto a politician. There's been talk of bringing kind of havoc, if you will, and all of that. You've heard some of these utterances, I'm sure, as a force PRO. What are your thoughts, when you hear the kinds of allegations out there that the police are essentially building up to rig this election in favor of one political party over the other?
I think that's laughable, and we want every Nigerian to disregard and discontinue such an allegation. And we know the person that is making such allegations been known for such an utterances, which we believe is not his own statesmanship. And we want him to call himself to order, and people like him that will issue statements or utterances that can disrupt the peace of the land, to equally know that we have Nigerian project as a factor, and no matter which office we occupy in this country, it is important for them to play the rule according to the game. Politics in Nigerians, and we have been involved in electioneering, security, from independent or even period before independent, because the police force have been existing before then. Then we have previously before independent Inspector General of Police that are not even Nigerians, and the Inspector General of Police, IGP Ibrahim Putu, received in 19 Inspector General of Police, and he has police election in Liberia, in far away other countries, so that Haiti and other countries, and he has recorded significant progress in this regard. He was on the management team of the United Nations Mission on Election Security for up to 10 years. So you know what it takes to ensure that adequate security is provided. So for those who are issuing those utterances in their own best interest and the interest of the people, because anything that you are doing that is not in the public interest is not good. It's not the best way to go.